Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is a training about scientific reading. It includes techniques and tips to read with ease and confidence while saving time. My name is Hatice Bilgiçlim. I am an academic writing coach, and I am very excited to be going through this training with you. Before we get started with the training itself, very briefly, I would like to make you familiar with the format of this training. This training program includes short videos, such as this introductory one, on scientific reading techniques and tips. To support the videos, there are downloadable resources, including the slides in the videos, and there are modifiable templates of worksheets included in the course. You can take them, revise them, use for your own purposes going forward as needed. In addition to the videos, we will have some live coaching sessions on Zoom. These will be to discuss and extend the topics we already covered in the video trainings. This will be for complete clarity and also as an opportunity to get into more practical applications for your immediate needs. Next, I will give you a brief summary about myself so that you get to know about my background. My scientific reading and writing experience started with my own graduate education more than 25 years ago when I was in your shoes. I continued in a career path in academia and industry. My industry experience has been in healthcare and included companies such as Medtronic and Becton Dickinson. I worked as a researcher, writer, presenter, and a teacher. During this time, I authored more than 20 peer-reviewed journal articles, and those gathered 1,000 citations worldwide. I also edited scientific writing from others, both in academic and industry settings. By now, you've probably figured I have an accent, and if you're wondering where this accent is from, it is from Turkey. I went to school in Turkey. I have my undergraduate and master's in engineering and PhD in biotechnology, all from Turkey. Then I came to United States for my postdoctoral training, and I also completed a business degree in the US. If you would like to find out more about my background, you can check my profile on LinkedIn. You can also go to my academic coaching website, academyhbl.com. Now, let's look into reasons why scientific reading is important, why you should be investing your valuable time and effort into it. How is this going to help you? Well, reading is fundamental to almost all activities at graduate school. It is the foundation of learning. To become an expert scholar, you need to be able to read the research of others and to be able to synthesize for your own use. It is definitely a core requirement for classes and research, such as class discussions, reports, papers, and thesis proposals and doctoral preliminary exams also require very significant amount of reading. Lastly, scientific reading is important not only for your graduate school, but beyond. You will need these skills when you go into your professional life, whether it's in academia, industry, government, or a nonprofit organization. Even though scientific reading is a fundamental need for students, very often it is overlooked. The first challenge is that professors frequently assume that graduate students know how to read scientific publications. While this may be true for some students, for the majority, including myself, this is not the case. Unfortunately, such an assumption can create pressure, causing feelings of insufficiency or even falling behind, and none of those are fun. Another challenge is that scientific texts are very specialized and technical. They contain a lot of jargon and specific information that is only applicable to a specific field. More often than not, this creates a distance between the text and the reader. This decreases the motivation to complete reading, even if you manage to get started. I have been there myself many times. In addition, you may have found this yourself too. The amount of required reading is beyond what can be accomplished practically with the time you have. Is there anyone who didn't experience this in graduate school so far? You need to fit in reading in a schedule that is already overloaded with other requirements, self-care, and social time with family and friends. This can also create stress and result in a freeze response. In my case, because it was just too much for me to handle, I froze and didn't do anything at all for a while. The good news is that wherever you may be starting your scientific experience, there are methods that could help you get to a quick, easy, and confident scientific reading process. These are the topics of this training. Now, let's look into who this training can help the best. This is for graduate students, primarily in STEM or related fields. It's geared towards first and second year students, as well as to those who are working on passing their preliminary exams. So, if you're falling into either of these two categories, you will definitely find a lot of helpful information in this training. All right, let's get into the contents and what we will be covering in each section of this training. There are 3 sections. The first section of the training is the scientific reading process. We will delve into the specific steps of it. Once we cover the fundamentals, in section 2, we will go into additional topics that may be helpful for you. These are avoiding common mistakes and additional tips for multilingual readers. Lastly, in section 3, we will briefly discuss how you may use the outcome of your reading for your academic goals. Before we go into the training itself, I would like to bring this very important point of view to your attention. Everything is complicated if no one explains it to you. This is a quote from Frederick Beckman. It may take a long time, a lot of effort and stress to get from point A to B if you don't have a clear path, if you're not familiar with the techniques. This training will come in very handy to learn about how to read effectively in a short amount of time and recall the information easily from your reading and use for whatever goal you set as a next step. With that, I will end this introduction video and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.